Together we have reached a timeless being in a space we have never been before. Welcome to the Vortex.
Welcome to the Vortex. Satnam, this is Gillian Symonds, and I'm sitting here with Joy Boisvert. Joy, tell us a little bit about why you're wearing white and about the work that you do as a medical intuitive and also as an intuit.
Thank you. Well, it's up here. The reason I wear white is because I work with removing frequencies. If I'm healing someone, I'm moving my hands. Maybe we could move it just a little bit. I move my hands because I'm reading frequencies. If it's in you, it's your health. If it's in the world, then I would tune into the world. And this is how I find where there's a place of distress. Okay? But the thing is that I seem to get hit with things called the heart machines, also with other people's energy work, and also just with the cell towers, all the electrical. So this keeps me from getting hit, and hit means it can take down valves in my heart, it can rip a hole in my stomach, my colon, and it can also take down neurotransmitters. So very often after one of these, I have to heal myself. But this really helps. And I also today even have a weight belt under because it gives me more protection. And it's protection truly from frequencies, which would be like walking around in a microwave. And I'm very sensitive to that kind of thing.
When did you discover this sensitivity?
Well, I first came into this gift, started maybe about seven and a half years ago, and I had always studied health and healing, but never ever did I ever think I would develop into a medical intuitive. So it's an evolving gift. So it started, and it didn't come with instructions. So I just gradually learned from doing, and it's gazillion times better now than it was 7.5 years ago. But the way I learned that is after I did this work when I had horrible pains in my abdomen area or breathing very heavy, and as a medical intuitive was reading that I was getting hit with frequencies and actually everybody else was getting well and I was really having to work it, do you say? So when I wear white, white also repels, and then this material, slicky material, also repels. So that's why I wear it for my own safety.
So what is in that white vest? Is there another layer other than the white itself?
Yeah, I have the white vest, a white t-shirt, and then I have a weight belt on, which is just something you buy, that you wear around your waist, but it protects me, gives me another area of protection. And I do wear this even when I'm working on somebody, over the phone even, because I'm a medical intuitive and a healer. Most medical intuitives just read your health, but they don't heal you. And the other thing is I didn't learn how to do it. So I can't, people say, well, could you teach me? I can't teach it because I don't know how I do it. You see, that's what a gift is. It evolves and you work on it. And the intuiting part is that I can intuit the world. I can also find missing children, abused children, the people that abuse them, and any criminals. And it's, once again, just a gift. I have to just focus in my brain. And if you see me doing any of this, it's because I'm hitting acupressure points to access different, and if you ever see me doing this when I'm working, teaching at the Bodhi tree or anything, I'm accentuating or activating my own acupressure points.
So you work on yourself, and in that way you work on others. Is it happening simultaneously?
No, when I'm working on somebody else, I'm absolutely out of it because I actually hook into your chi. So I have to be very careful, which is why I wear this. When I move childhood memories or what I call darkness or pain or anything like that, I am running your chi through my body. And so if I'm not protected, even over the phone, I can all of a sudden just the room starts going around. No, I actually hook into your chi. Yeah. So there's the medical intuition and the world finding missing children and also healing.
Can you talk about any one of the experiences you've had about finding a missing child?
Yes, there was one in Florida. And what I do is, there's always a tip line. Because if it's in Florida, I'm in California. So I call the tip line, and then you ask them to call back. But I was in Florida for a while and actually drove into the police station and worked with someone on finding a missing woman. And I worked with you. I kind of showed you what I do. There's not time today, but it's not psychic. It's a little bit different. But long story short, I told them which was, and they had already kind of narrowed it down to an area, and I gave them as much information as I could, and I don't charge or anything. I said, call me if you need to, but I said, you only got 5 days to find her. And what I understand is they didn't get her till the 6th day, and she was dead. So, very often there's a very precise timing. So that's kind of what I do. Yeah.
And have you worked locally here too in California at all?
I work all the time in California, mostly healing and public speaking. I would love, and I call every time I see a missing child on that TV, I call every time to be able to find some of these children. That is very close to my heart. So I work over the phone on healing, and I also do public speaking, and I try to put myself out there as much as I can. But it doesn't really make me very popular. If it's a big racket or involves a lot, very often I understand that people pull me off the tip line.
Why would they do that?
Because it's somebody that knows where the child is and doesn't want that child found. Don't forget, they're abducted for a reason. But on that subject, I want to get into the food, and because I try to work with everyone on what they can do to help themselves. And I'll tell you what, if you know any child that's missing, sweetie, you call them up and tell them to call me, okay? Okay. So, and when I move my hands like this, I'm keeping myself safe. Some of it's just from the frequencies of the camera. And so if you see me doing this, I'm not doing it on purpose. My body reads the frequencies that are around me, and even this, but we have to use it. So I'm always clearing myself. So in the 4 episodes, hopefully we're going to cover some things on what we can do in a world that is absolutely full of frequencies. So even if you don't have this gift, which makes you very sensitive to it, you are really walking around outside in a microwave oven. Because for every telephone, for every cell phone, for every iPod, for every computer, there is a connection to the server. And they all go in straight lines, but they're all over the place, which disrupts our brain, our digestion, and everything. So we're going to talk about that, and hopefully I can, space it into these 4. And the other thing I wanted to mention real quickly is the why, which people sometimes don't understand when I teach at the Bodhi Tree or even clients. But I don't know if anyone has ever heard of the Great Conspiracy Theory. Well, it's not a theory anymore. It's a fact. And it started out in the late 30s as truly a way, not us, but that we were going to take down the United States, other countries, from the inside out. And the way, because, we have no enemies, we have ocean on each side. So we're very apprised, a country would love that. So what they do is we have all kinds of, nationalities. And in long story short, what they've done is if you want to take down a country not without a gun, you go inside and you infiltrate. I use that word. So you infiltrate into the water department. You infiltrate into different products and foods. And you infiltrate into pharmaceuticals, etc. And long story short, what you're doing is they're putting toxins in our foods. Not all of them, but a good number of them. And in some of the baby formulas. And China had led in the toys, not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before that. There was a big thing on that. And about 8 months ago in Southern California, we had, I don't know how many dogs died in one day from dog food that had melamine in it. And they actually showed the melamine on TV and said it's an industrial solvent. And they use it for a filler. There is no way you can rationalize in your mind when there are so many other fillers we could put in food that we would have to use an industrial solvent. And what I understand now, this was also on TV. I always keep that news on because I could tell you, but see, people say, how do you know? And if I say I saw it on TV, do you say? But I believe that we do not have to list 42% of ingredients now on the package. Well, there can be an awful lot of deadly things in 42% of the ingredients. And the other thing, I also saw it on TV. You'll hear me say this a lot. I've seen it twice. Only 20% of our products that we get from China, only 20%, I believe it's the food products, absolutely admitted by the FDA that only 20% are ever checked. And sometimes they say less than that. Now, if China doesn't really like you or any other country doesn't really like you, I don't think I'd accept a birthday cake from them, And so this is where it has infiltrated a lot of food. So one of the things I do with people when I work on them, or this way, is I read products. Because chromium, melamine,